Hi, loves. All right. What's up, babes? Welcome to Soul Circle. I'm Sarah Delaney, Conscious Lifestyles. We do this every Tuesday. I'm going a little bit early tonight. A little bit early. Because Mama's got, somewhere to go after. So I love all you. And starting early tonight. Yes, girl. I gotta be out of the house a little early. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. How's everybody doing? It's almost Halloween. Hey, Tala. Natalie. You love this song? I love this song. YouTube is for sure going to make me edit it out. But we're going to jam with it right now. Yes, Tala. Hey, mama. What's up, YouTube? Yeah, guys, what are we talking about tonight? What's going on? Damn, there's some really cool shifts happening. Such fun. Such fun. Huge shout out to Power of Becoming graduates. Love all of you. Amazing. Juliana. Maybe, girl. Maybe. Maybe. Should we pull a ruin on it? Should we see what's going to happen tonight? Yes, we'll do ruins for everybody. How are you guys? Tell me what's up. Come on. Who's going to be what for Halloween? Put in what your costumes are going to be for Halloween. I always love that, like, the costumes that we take, it kind of, like, resembles the energy that we're in or the energy that we're going to, like, be going into. Stepping into your power. Okay, Elise Songbird. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Good morning from King Tours. Where are you, love? Where are you? Oh, Rash Bash. I've been admitted to the hospital, and after seeing you, I feel so much better. Your positivity. Yes, girl. Give some hearts to some Rash Bash. Whatever healing you need, love. Doesn't go here for Mean Girls or a Witch? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Who's a mean girl? We don't have that here. We don't have that here. Soul Circle don't have that here. Katie, been super chill. Girl, like, didn't I see, like, I saw something on your show. You're like in Hawaii or something. Of course you're chill. I'm sort of energy mode isolation, but in a healthy way. How else are you guys doing? Put in your costumes. I want to see what everybody's doing for their costumes. Lots of good energy and laughs. Yes, good. We always have to keep it up and light. Chilly Bitty. I'm good. How are you? How are you, boo? You're like, oh, that was like 2 weeks ago. Sorry, girl. I love this jam. I love it. I love it. I love it. I've been eating like a raccoon and gotta break out. Too much sugar. Too much sugar gives me a headache. Can't do it. My body's like, no thanks, Ma. No thank you. No thank you. Please no sugar. Please stop frying the brain with so much sugar. All right. I look extra nice tonight, glowing. Thank you, darling. Thank you. All right. Do we have any newbies? If you're new, this is Soul Circle. I'm Sarah Delaney, Conscious Lifestylist. We do this every Tuesday. Usually at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm doing a little bit early so I can get out of the house a little bit early because I have something fun that I want to go do. So I want to see all of you and do that. And we live in an end mentality. So that's what's happening. What am I for Halloween? I don't know if I'm gonna celebrate Halloween. I don't know. I might go to like a girlfriend's house or something like that. Honestly, in LA, it gets crazy. There's traffic, there's people, there's just too muchness. Devil's Night, how like the night before, and like all the energy and the spirits are out and like and all that stuff. I'm just like, let me stay inside. Like, keep it on the low. DL. You know what I'm gonna be for Halloween? I'm gonna be in my pajamas. That's what I'm gonna be. I don't know. I don't know yet. I'll feel into it. I might go out. Who knows? Yeah, I don't even know. I didn't plan a costume or anything like that. I might be too old for that. Am I too old for that now? I don't know. I like watching other little kids trick or treat. I remember last year I was Cookie Monster. My mama came out. We were both little Cookie Monsters, and we watched my niece, who was like her first. I think it was her first time trick or treating. Oh my God, adorable, adorable. All right. What are we talking about tonight, loves? What are we doing? We're for sure going to do some runes. How are you guys? What is the energy like for you? Let me scroll up and see. You're a unicorn. Amazing. I got a unicorn I got a unicorn birthday, or a birthday balloon for my birthday. That was kind of cool. Pretty sure my niece is going to be a unicorn this year. So that's kind of awesome. All right. What questions do we have tonight, loves? Talk to me. Talk to me. How are we? What are we doing? Your friend of 20 plus years, and I finally called it quits. Oh, so much hearts to you, love. I'm so sorry, and yet at the same time, that's awesome. In a like good, like sort of clearing way, right? Sometimes you need to like separate from people. Maybe you come back again, maybe you don't. Either way, whenever, like I've always said for the longest time, like whenever you separate from something, like you get upgrades, right? So I noticed that maybe 3 years ago, every time I would like either go through it. Do you guys resonate with that? Have you ever experienced that where like a breakup happens or something like that, and then all of a sudden you got like all these upgrades that happen? So I'm like, oh, you have an upgrade party, right? So whatever is happening, grieve that experience, honor it for whatever it was, and then go have your upgrade party. Because sometimes, sometimes you need to just move on from people. Sometimes you move back into alignment with them, and then sometimes you don't. There can be so many different reasons for that. So hearts to like, and love to your, the experience that you're having with that. And then watch where all the upgrades come from, right? But give love to it. Give love to like the experiences that you guys had together, right? And stay in the love. Always stay in the love. Don't get into the like finger pointing. Like this is going to often happen when we like separate, right? We get into the victim mentality, we get into finger pointing and like making them wrong for all the different ways of like whatever they did or said or whatever. And also leave it at home. Don't go posting, don't go airing your dirty laundry out on whatever. Keep it classy. Keep it classy. But yeah, other than that, hearts to you, love. We want cards. We want cards, not ruins tonight. How are we doing? Yes, word. Okay, cool. You missed Soul Circle. Well, I'm so stoked that you're back to joining tonight. I don't know, Becky, how long has it been? It's so lovely seeing you again. Do a live in Costa, or you want me to do a live in Costa? Oh God. Yes to PJ night, right? Never too old. That's true. Chris, hi baby. You guys, is it date tonight? Is that the question of tonight? Really? That's the question? No. Soul Circle's about you, loves. So you asked me who's got a date tonight. All right, last couple of weeks, very clearing and fresh, and felt the upgrade. Okay, awesome. Love that. Yeah, there's a lot of energy clearing out right now. All right, what else do we have going on? What questions do we got? How do I clear my throat chakra? Feel like I'm always lost for words and not saying what I want to say. Need clarity. Okay, give some hearts if you guys have ever either gotten like a sore throat or sort of like a lump right there or whatever, right? And it kind of just feels like there's something covering your throat if you're not speaking your truth, especially for the feminine. So whether you're a woman and the feminine aspect of you, or whether you're man and the feminine aspect of you, right? And being that sort of fully self-expressed, like, version, like speaking your desires, speaking your boundaries, speaking your like whatever is happening, right? Because I don't know what the situation is, but if you're feeling like this is blocked, then there's an aspect that you're suppressing of your inner feminine. So that goes for men, women, doesn't matter. And you're not allowing her to be fully self-expressed, right? Hence communicate, throat, chakra, right? And so if you always feel like you're lost for words, then maybe you're not fully connected with the heart and the truth of what you want to say. You might be speaking more from your mind than you're speaking from your heart, right? So see if that resonates, and see if that resonates for anybody else as well, right? Oftentimes, if you're, it can happen if you get out of alignment. It can happen if you get out of emotional alignment. It can happen if you're not following your own truth. Maybe it's not always something that you're not speaking, right? It doesn't always have to be like a healthy boundary that you're not speaking or communicating. It could be like you're not in alignment or following your truth for you, right? It doesn't always have to be in relationship with someone else. It can be something that you're not doing or something that you're stopping yourself from doing. For fear or whatever. So any sort of level of suppression that then isn't connected with your heart, and then thus, like, if we think about it, this is our communication, but it doesn't always have to necessarily be like verbal communication. It's how you're communicating with the world. It's how you're expressing yourself in the world, that if that is blocked or you're in resistance to something, then this is going to end up getting shut down, right? So that can go a lot of different ways for whatever it is specifically for you. So I would take a look at what you're either resisting within yourself, some version of you that want to step into, something that you, maybe that you've been saying that you really want to be doing, but you're like holding yourself back. Or, like I said, it could be, if it is in relationship with somebody else, if you're not speaking your actual truth with them or holding healthy boundaries, or if something is like slipping, right? Maybe you claimed like a boundary and then you've been letting it slip or whatever, right? So if it's with yourself and you're not staying in alignment with something that you are really passionate about, or if it is with another person, you're not holding those boundaries or communicating yourself clearly. So see how that resonates for you. I get that that's very general because I don't know the exact situation. So hopefully that helps. Cool, we got hearts on that. What else do we got, loves? Yes, upgrades. Completely so relaxed with this guy you found. Okay, love that. Love that. I love the what is it where was it the Buddha? Correct me on that. Who knows this, right? Where it was like the Buddha says like the one, right? Or whatever, or your soulmate, whatever we want to call it, right? It's not the like, oh, the nervous tummy, right? Why do we call them butterflies? Because they're not butterflies, okay? Those feel like fucking knives. Those are butter knives. They're not butterflies. Like, so if you're feeling that, they're not the one that's in alignment. That could almost be like something trying to tell you to go the opposite direction, right? But if you feel calm and you feel like at home, or it feels very natural and easy and fluid, then that who you're more in alignment with, right? Doesn't make it wrong or right. It just means that's who you're more in alignment with, right? If it feels like it has to be forced, or if you're trying to like fit something square peg in round hole, it's not it, right? Sometimes you can know somebody for a really long time, and so you might feel really calm, and yet at the same time, it also may not be in alignment, right? There can be many different reasons for that. So I always notice now, if I'm feeling more calm around people and yet it feels like home and it feels good and it feels easy and fluid, If you have to try, if it feels like pulling leather to try to like talk or try to come up with stuff, or right, or usually if people are like dominating the conversation and then you're like, where do I fit in here, right? And it's just like that awkward, like it's like having an awkward hug, but you're like awkward interaction. And if then your belly is like, I don't feel so good here, it might be trying to tell you something, right? Yes, hearts. Okay. I moved to Miami to move away on my own upgrade. Awesome. I love that. Congratulations. Upgrades, yo. Need an upgrade now. Anytime, put it this way. Anytime you want an upgrade, like anytime you want an upgrade, ask yourself, what am I willing to give up? What am I willing to let go of, right? So sometimes we say yes, if it's like moving temporarily or completely away from a friendship or romantic relationship or business relationship, and then you get the upgrades. Or if you just want to generate an upgrade, there's always something I know that you can find to let go of. And the minute that you let go of it, it makes space for more things to come in, more of the positive things that you want. Hence, upgrade. So if you ever just want to generate an upgrade, just like delete something, get rid of something. It's kind of like spring cleaning, or I have a rule, right? This is a little bit of like, so the ladies on here, you can relate. Guys, put it in context for you, right? If I want to buy myself a new article of clothing, right? Let's say a sweater. Bad example. It's winter, at least here in the US. Okay, so if I want to buy myself a new sweater, I have a rule. I have to get rid of an article of clothing. Usually it's something that I haven't worn within the last year. If it's in there and it's like just collecting, it's just nothing's happening with it, right? And if I want something new, then I have to get rid of something old. Hence, instant upgrade. You have to make room for the new by getting rid of something that's just not working, or shifting it, right? Because we don't want to think about relationships as like, oh, just dump the relationships, right? Because that's not what we're about. That's spiritual bypassing. So easy in today's day and age, right? With all this technology, it's so easy to just hide behind work and social media and all that stuff and be like, oh, I'm busy, or I'm self-loving, or I'm working on myself, or too much of this. There's always an excuse that we create to not have connection with people. If there's friction, or if there's anything, then like reach out, do whatever you can, right? Don't just kind of like write people off in your life. That's not love. That's spiritual bypassing. And that's not true alignment with honoring and seeing everybody as the highest version of themselves, and seeing everyone as one. Just going to keep communicating that only because we hear it so much, right? We talk about it so much. It's a little bit like spiritual ego. Let's just be real. Okay. Literally always saying exact. Okay, cool. Awesome. Yay. I'm saying exactly what you need to hear. I love that. This ruins. Okay. I'm a little bit behind. Where are we going? Hi, everybody who just joined. What other questions we got, loves? Does it relate with showing emotions? Sorry, babe, what's the question? And do you feel spirits? What is your most memorable Halloween spooky moment? Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't know if I can remember my most Halloween spooky moment. Didn't necessarily have to be Halloween to have a spooky moment with spirits. Just gonna say that. So do I feel spirits? Yes. I usually, if I, like you, more of my strength is they usually come in dreams for me. I do see them or feel them. Usually it's like out of the corner of my eye, right? But I've seen angels, I've seen spirits, I've seen other things. So yes, to the answer to your question, I see them, I feel them. Usually I feel them more often than I see them, right? Because there can be a lot of different light reflecting aspects, or you don't always right? If it is out of like the corner of your eye, and then of course when you go to look, it doesn't show up, because technically the dimensional realities where we see spirits, right, that are in a different vibration happen at a 90-degree angle, right? So if this is straight for me, then we always see them out the corner of our eye, because this is the 90-degree angle to seeing directly ahead of us, right? Hence why you look at them and then they disappear, because you're now no longer looking at it from a 90-degree angle. So just keep that in mind whenever you kind of see the things out of your peripheral vision. You can train yourself also to kind of like open up and expand the vision of your peripheral, and that usually helps you to see them more often if that's something that you have a desire to do. Not everybody does. Sometimes that can freak people out. But yes, to answer your question, I feel them more often than I see them. And then I usually get dreams of them too. Usually the dreams of the spirits are like passed on spirits, right? Your brother just told you about the eye doing that. Okay, awesome. So yeah, my most Halloween spooky moment, like it was never, the spooky stuff doesn't happen on Halloween for me. It's not like oh, yay, everybody jump out now. Devil's Night, I will say, I don't like to go outside just because, yes, I feel like the veil is thinner between realities of all of those different energies. So I like to stay at home. Doesn't mean that I'm exempt by staying home, because they'll just walk through the building anyways. Yes, does that answer your question? Let me scroll up or down. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? I'm telling you how to love. What questions do we have, love? Integrity. Awesome. Love it. Yes, Buddha. Oh, wow. I'm like really behind. All right. Where are we at, loves? Hang on. Okay. Contacts drying out. Okay. Exactly the butterfly feeling. I just feel completely comfortable, relaxed, laugh all day, travel, and eat like royalty. That sounds so fun. I love that. That sounds like a vibe. Yay, hearts. Warm, cozy sweaters. That's what you want to wear every day. Awesome. Do it. All right. What is Devil's Night? Devil's Night is the night before Halloween. It's the night where supposedly all of the ghouls and goblins and, yes, hearts, all the fun things or not so fun things. It's usually when the veil is the thinnest, where kind of everybody comes out to party, right? Yeah. It's like the spirits' Halloween party. Hi, Ksenia, love. Yes, pretty girl. Yes, the night before Halloween. Exactly, Tom. You feel like you had a good question? What was the question, love? And I'm sorry if I miss some of the question, guys, because sometimes when I'm scrolling, I either miss it. And then honestly, sometimes I'll go back and I'll like go through. I always go through and read the questions in the comments, right? And sometimes it's like I'll see ones that come up after that didn't come up on the live. So if you guys feel like I'm not answering your question, I don't always see them. I don't know if that's a glitch in the IG matrix or what, but have I ever lived in a haunted house? No, not that I knew of. So if I did ever, then whatever those energies didn't communicate with me. I can say that wherever I have lived, I've had experiences with energies and other multidimensional entities within that house. Didn't mean that the house was haunted. It just meant my antennas were on. and they showed up. A lot of that happened. So when you guys start opening up the Kundalini a lot more, right, and opening up the higher chakra channels above the 7 primary channels, right? So many of you should know that there's more than 7 primary chakras. If you don't, feel free to go look that up. There's more. When you start opening up more of those channels, and that's what happened to me just automatically after the, I call it now the Kundalini awakening. So the hence near-death experience that I'm reframing to Kundalini awakening, AKA the night that I took a magic carpet ride. To flip it on the positive, because I don't like referencing it as the night I almost died. That's not fun. And that being said, it was 2 years after that I was getting visited almost every single night. I don't talk about this that much. Some of you guys who have heard me talk about my story or have read my bio or anything like that on my website have heard me talk about it. But it was definitely a fascinating time. And I can say during that time, like now I don't watch horror movies. I don't watch anything horror. I don't, even if it's got some element to do with horror, it's like, no, absolutely not. That's an open channel and an open doorway to invite more of those energies in. I don't fear it anymore. Like I've been to the underworld. I've seen the darkest of the dark, right? I've seen how black magic works. I've seen how dark entities work. I've seen how angels work. I've seen how anything from both sides, right? So I know what I'm in vibration with, and nothing really scares me anymore when it comes to that. It did. It really, really did. There was a time when I was waking up in the middle of the night and there was very clearly entities in my room. Very clearly. And they weren't awesome. They weren't friendly. They were doing their best to keep me in fear. And that's where I feel like anything that is there to try to keep you in fear and has that hold over you, that's where you just have to go back in and giving it love. But honestly, it took me a minute to do that because when I was in that much fear of this energy that I couldn't, you can't touch, you can see it, you can feel it. Sometimes you can feel it and not see it. It can be really scary, like just being really super real. It was probably, I would never wish that on my worst enemy. It was not the most exciting time in my life. It was probably one of the most difficult times in my life, and yet one of the most growth and expanding times of my life that now I'm just like, oh, wow, I understand how like all the different dimensions work, right? But yes, there were very clear entities and communicating fear-based stuff, right? So going back to like why I don't watch horror movies, I've seen things that are worse than what you can even imagine in a typical horror movie. So I don't believe in opening that door, right? I don't believe in inviting that energy in because we don't need to. That's not true alignment of the highest, right? You can acknowledge it because we're in duality. So it's not to be afraid of it, but it's to acknowledge it. What I was going to mention is during that time, right? Another reason why I don't watch any of this stuff, I happened to watch the movie Constantine during that time. Because I was searching for answers, right? I was like, why am I able to see all of this stuff, right? I was getting dreams. I would wake up in the middle of the night and my Kundalini would just fully activate and it would make my body go into convulsions that would make me feel like I was sticking my finger in a light socket. And hence then that translated in my body as anxiety, but it wasn't. It was the energetics that I was experiencing, right? So I was searching for answers. There wasn't Soul Circle. There wasn't a whole lot of YouTube at the time talking about this. There was a few people on YouTube talking about this. And there wasn't a community, right? You were crazy if you talked about this. I thought I was going crazy. And I watched Constantine at that time, and I can honestly say that there is a lot of truthful elements to what they explain and how they explain things and what can happen in that, right? Down to what's able to cross dimensional boundaries, down to cats going through water to get to different dimensions, mirrors, all kinds of different stuff like that, right? You're glad I'm talking about this. Interesting. Okay. Like I said, you know, we try to keep it as light as possible on Soul Circle, but in the light of Halloween, I guess, we're going to get real with ghouls and goblins. So I remember one time, is this helpful for you guys? Give some hearts if this is helpful for everybody else. And how do you keep yourself safe from this? Okay, great question. So yes, we got hearts. Okay, cool. As long as it's helpful for everybody, and then we can move on too. No, you can't ignore the dark. Because you all have a part of darkness within you. That's your shadow. So if we're constantly in fight or fear against any sort of darkness, then we're not in love. We're not in love of a part of ourselves, right? So I say that, right, not to be confused, like these energies that were coming, it doesn't mean that they were part of me, but I will say I had to fight. This was in hindsight what I realized. I had to fight for my choice on what side I was going to choose. That's what came full circle, because during that time, I was like, where is like my help that's supposed to be on the light side, right? Where is, you know, God or angels or whatever is on the light side that everybody talks about? Like where? Like I'm sitting here in this like full on, felt like soul battle. Talk about dark night of the soul. Where's the help? Where's the support? Who's coming to save me? Like, right? And so in my victim mentality, that was what I spoke. Who's coming to save me? Where is this help from the light side, right? And I was mad about it. I was pissed off. I was like, something's supposed to come and help me, right? We ask for help. We ask for support from this light side, right? I was ready to like disregard everything. And something became very, very clear in that moment. Love your guys' hearts on that. So clear in that moment that I was actually having a conversation with my dad, and he said something very simply to me. And he said, just because this light side energy isn't swooping in to save you, how do you know it's not still there witnessing? How do you know it's not still just there, right? And so in that moment, and I'm not even kidding, I remember this as clear as yesterday. In that moment, I saw there was this area in my room, like corner, right, where it was actually the shadow. So believe it or not, when all these other energies were coming in that weren't light and positive, they were coming in the light, in the moonlight of the window, right? Clearly showing themselves. They weren't in the shadows. They weren't lurking in the shadows. They were like, here we are. And yet the light energy was in this tiny little shadow. I had 2 porch doors, right, on both walls. And so in the corner where there was no light, it was literally in the shadow. I felt this like strong, like powerful, like loving energy that was just there. Just there. It wasn't doing anything. It was just there watching, like observing, making sure everything was fine. And what I got in that moment was nothing is coming to save you. You realize, you wake up and you realize one day that spirit, God, soul, whatever you want to call it, is waiting for you to save yourself. It's waiting for you to choose you. It's waiting for you to choose the side that you're going to go on. And is that love or is that fear? Is that darkness or is that light? Not disregard the dark, and be afraid of it, but say, I see you, darkness, and now I am not afraid. And so literally in that moment, all the fear that I had in trying to battle this dark energy, it was like getting filled with a totally different loving energy. And I was still scared a little bit, right? It was like learning to walk all over again. But for all the rest of the nights, whenever any energies would come, I went back to that energy in my heart and I just said, I'm choosing love. I'm choosing light. I'm choosing freedom. I'm choosing me on my soul. I'm choosing my soul. I'm choosing life. That was the biggest thing, because everything before that, when I was running the whole victim program, I was choosing destructive death type of energy, hence almost dying, right? Like that's what I was choosing. So that's what was showing up in my reality. So I had to make a choice for my life, for my soul. I had to choose my soul. Does that, right? Does that make sense? Does that resonate with you guys? And so in that moment, everything shifted and I realized, okay, it's not that some energy like a, father figure type of powerful energy is going to swoop in and save me. I have to learn how to do this on my own. I have to walk my own path, right? And that's for everybody having a spiritual awakening, whether you're new to it or in the middle of it or at any part of your journey, you always have to choose you and choosing your life and your soul on the light side. That's what you choose. Some people choose the other side. That's okay. No judgment. Everybody's going to choose whatever side that they want to. I was just very, very clear my whole life, because I used to get like night tremors from entities in my dreams, literally ever since I was a little girl. So I was very, very clear, like there's this side and then there's that side. I don't fear that side. I don't fear the darker side anymore because I know how to love it now in a different way, right? Follow the light even while you're alive. Yeah, more so when you're alive. That's how you are alive. That's how you become more alive. That's how you thrive in this living experience, right? But we all have choice. In any moment, we all have choice, right? So there's truly at the root of it, when you choose your soul, I know that might sound kind of vague, right? But when you choose life and you choose love and you choose your own next level of being, anything can present itself to you. Any level of what might look like any kind of darkness. That could be a typical just asshole that's in your life. That could be going to a toxic relationship. That could be dark energies. That could be black magic. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because then you start looking at everything with just love and compassion, and it doesn't have any effect on you because you're not responding in fear. You're always responding in love, right? Badass. Yes. Fuck yeah, it is. But I'll be really super real. That wasn't an easy thing. Like talking about it now and, and I laugh about it and I bring love to it and all of that stuff. Like it was probably one of the most challenging experiences of my life. And I don't regret it now looking back, but in the moment, holy fuck. Yes, it was really scary, really scary. I have never been so terrified in the middle of the night until I understood what was happening and what these energies are and what they were trying to do, right? And until I understood that I could choose. And when I choose me and that conviction, everything else has to abide by that. As soon as I got that and understood that, and that I chose to save myself rather than waiting for somebody else or something else to save me, game changer. Game changer. It becomes a different fight. It's like an empowering fight versus like an afraid fight, right? Awesome. Okay. Is that helpful? I was not expecting to get into that tonight, guys. Wow. So thank you to whoever asked. Hopefully that was helpful for everybody, right? Soul touching. Okay, awesome. Good. And yes, hearts. So, and again, you don't have to be going through something so dramatic to still say yes to you, to still say yes to choosing life for you and choosing light for you, right? You don't have to wait till you almost die. You don't have to have this gnarly Kundalini awakening. You don't have to, right? It's just, are you waking up every single day and saying, yeah, I choose me? Are you waking up every day and saying, yeah, I choose me? That's all you have to ask yourself. Setting healthier boundaries gets a lot easier that way. Choosing relationships that are empowering and fun and easy flowing is easier that way. You don't get into drama and arguments. You don't succumb to drama and arguments from other people, right? You don't play victim. You don't play other people's victim. Like, you just start seeing how the whole thing is like playing out, and you're just like, oh, I don't have to play that, right? Some people are worried, right? I constantly get all the time, like, oh, what if others talk about me behind my back or say something, or if they don't like me, or if I won't fit in or whatever, right? People are going to gossip about you no matter what. Give them love. And if you're choosing you, it doesn't matter. Yes, I choose me. I love seeing that. Okay, awesome. Right? If anybody gets into gossip or drama or whatever, that's something that they need to create for them to fulfill whatever need they have within, right? Whatever unfulfilled dramatic desire, it doesn't mean you have to play, right? Come on, technically, like seriously, like all over social media, you've got people who say nasty things and then just like delete the account, you know? You have people who just, right? It's all over the place. You don't have to play. You can just witness it and be like, oh, okay. I'm so sorry you're going through that for you. Even if they're directing it at you, it doesn't have to affect you because they're going through whatever they got to go through for them, right? Maybe I touched on that because I know a lot of you have talked about coming out of like toxic relationship, narcissistic relationships, right? And usually the notorious thing is whenever you get out of the narcissistic relationship, there's always one person who usually starts bad mouthing or spreading rumors and drama and all this stuff about the other one. It's usually the one who is the narcissist that's doing that, right? Because they have to make the other person look bad. Can't tell you how many times I've been on the receiving end of that one. It's just like, okay. Right? Love from Germany. I'm blowing your mind. Awesome. I love blowing people's minds. Hopefully I'm blowing your heart open too. Happy to coincidentally tuning in the middle of the night. Awesome. I love that. So is it resonating? I'm on track always. Okay. Love it. I just open up the channel and I share whatever you guys are meant to hear. So whoever this is for, right? And we're going to pull some for Halloween tonight and Halloween. We're going to do 3. I'm glad you asked the question too, love. You're thinking of closing your heart to your new friends. No, don't do that. Even if there's drama or gossip or anything like that, like don't be the person that then closes your heart because of it. Be the person that can stand in the face of anybody doing any other drama, anything, being any kind of asshole. Be the person who can stand in the face of that and be like, I'm going to stay heart open regardless. Because we need more people who are heart open. It might be part of your test then. That might be why all of that happened. So that spirit or energy, which is you, is going to be like, okay, here's somebody who's going to like not treat you so good or talk shit about you behind your back or something like that? Are you going to then close your heart and go into a hole, which is what they might want, or the energy that is influencing them to do that action on you? So that then you stop and close, going back full circle to the first question with closing your throat chakra and not speaking your truth and not setting your boundaries and not standing in the like full, abundant, badass self that you are? No, be in the face of that and then be heart open. Be able to stand there and say, I don't care what anybody is going to do. You're not closing my heart. You're not doing whatever you're doing, and I'm not going to allow myself to be heart closed no matter what you're doing, right? That's the true test. That's being a true divine spiritual badass. Is can you stand in the fire and stay heart open? Can you stand in the face of fire and stay heart open? That's a spiritual badass. Can you stand there with someone yelling at you and give them love and compassion and say, I am so sorry that somebody has hurt you so much to the point that you now need to hurt other people, including me? Or will you close off and say, fuck you and da-da-da and I hate you, whatever, and F off? That's not being a spiritual badass. That's not what you're here to do. That's not being a divine angel of fucking light either. I remember having to do that one time. Woo! I was cornered in a bathroom by a man who was a lot stronger than me, and I didn't know what he was going to do. And all I did was say, I'm so sorry, and you're beautiful, and you're amazing. And it totally shifted. Like, it took them completely off guard, but like totally shifted. If I had fought that fire energy with fire energy, it would have escalated into a bigger bonfire. But you just blast that shit with love, and it's just like they can't help but just turn into a teddy bear. Do the same thing with any fear of any energies or entities that are presented in your room or your dreams or anything. If you come at them with fear, then that amplifies their power. If you come at them with love, it literally just like dissolves it, and it can't withstand. Like, it can't. I have seen this so many times. It can't stand it. Can't withstand it. Is there a middle? Like, I want to stay heart open, but also feel the need to defend myself. 100%. Staying heart open doesn't mean be a fucking doormat. Just FYI. Okay, let's make that super, super clear. Thank you for pointing that out, love. Okay, staying heart open doesn't mean that you become a doormat for being treated like crap from other people, because then you're not honoring healthy boundaries, which is true self-love. You can absolutely say, I'm going to stay heart open, but I'm also going to not tolerate your shit. With love. You know what I mean? So don't get that twisted. Okay, you don't have to just be all love and light and I'm staying heart open and I'm not going to say anything to anybody because I'm just going to stay heart open. I know that's not what you're doing, okay? But that's the exaggerated version of it, right? No. You can call people out on their shit. Or you can also just walk away because it's a waste of your fucking energy to call people out. If they want to operate however they're operating, that is on them. Don't waste your energy, but stay heart open. Right? Okay, hearts. 100%. Dope, girl, you got it. Okay. So yeah, it's not like that's a balance. It's just like a stay heart open and don't take any crap at the same time. Okay. What do we got today? We've got 133. Okay. One of my favorite numbers. 33. 333. All right. Whew, okay. And we're finishing a little bit early tonight. Okay. Ooh, a gateway. So we're doing the runes. I didn't show you guys. Okay. It's this one. Can you see? Okay. Hi, everybody on YouTube. I see you. Okay. A gateway, place of non-action. Okay, interesting. With a gateway for its symbol, this ruin indicates that there is work to be done both inside and outside of yourself. Okay, the frontier between heaven and the mundane. Or the heavens and the underworld. Arriving here is a recognition of your readiness to contact the numerous, the divine, the the divine, to illuminate your experience so that its meaning shines through its form. This is a ruin of non-action. Thus, the gateway is not to be approached and passed through without contemplation. Here you are being confronted with a clear reflection of what is hidden in yourself, what must be exposed and examined before right action can be undertaken. It strengthens your ability to wait. Now is the time to make decisions. Deep transformational forces are at work in this next to last of the cycle ruins. Okay, so pretty sure that's talking about going within, getting, clearing out whatever is keeping you from staying heart open, right? But it doesn't mean take action on anything. It means strengthen that deepest part of you. Strengthen feeling into being heart open and what that feels like. So try like meditating, like just on your heart chakra and meditating on that expansion of that field, expanding even further beyond your body and what that would feel like. So when anything does present itself, when action does need to be taken, now you can stand in just being pure heart, fucking Care Bear style blasting, right? So non-action. This is introspection. This is transformation, introspection. And, right, we're kind of going into a Mercury retrograde, so it's kind of perfect timing. Okay. Harvest. Interesting. So this I did kind of like for tonight and like Halloween type energy. So the next few days, basically. Harvest. What do we got for harvest? Fertile season. Okay. 1 year. This ruin. Oh my gosh. I can't see anything. But where's contacts? Okay. Let's see. A ruin of beneficial outcomes. Okay. This applies to any activity or endeavor. So this is after, right? So this is non-activity first. Go within, personal transformation, right? And then this now pertains to activity or endeavor to which you are committed. Be aware, however, that no quick results can be expected. There's no fast track to enlightenment, okay? You can't just do ayahuasca and be like, yay, I'm enlightened, okay? That's not, you got to find your pathway there on your own. There's no quick results. There's, right? It's not like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. What's that game? Pass, go, collect $200. Monopoly. Okay, this is not like spiritual Monopoly or enlightened Monopoly. Okay, a span of time is usually involved, hence the keywords 1 year, symbolizing a full cycle before reaping the harvest and deliverance. So whatever you're setting intentions for right now, whatever seeds you're planting, right? So the previous one was go within, set up who you need to be, set up what you need to be, who you need to become, right? Internally, don't take any action just yet. Set it up, plant all the seeds, and then in 1 year be able to plant the seeds. So this is perfect, okay? You have prepared the ground and planted the seed. Now you must cultivate it with care. So it's like when you're harvesting something, so it's like water it, pertain to it. So if you've been on the spiritual journey, if you've been doing, inner work for a while now, it's like, or if you're just starting, it's like tend to it, right? Rip up the soil a little bit more or get to the next deepest layer, right? If you've been kind of doing work on the sort of top of the iceberg, then now maybe it's time to get, to the core underneath of the iceberg with care. Let's see. To those whose labor has a long season, a long coming to term. Okay, this offers encouragement of success. So basically, don't stop, right? Whatever you think, if you think nothing is like showing up, it just means it's not ready yet. It means like the seeds are still underneath the ground and they're just about to burst through, but you can't see you can't see what's being grown yet. So nothing's on the surface, right? You haven't seen any flowers, plants, anything like that. So to you, it might look like nothing's happening because nothing's grown, but it could just be just underneath the surface, ready to like come out, right? So continue tending to it. Know that the outcome is in the keeping of providence, and continue to persevere. Keep going. Even if it looks like you're not getting anywhere, even if it looks like nothing's happening, like keep going. Because it's happening. Everything is always happening for you, not to you, right? We know that one. Okay, this one's interesting. Constraint / necessity. Constraint doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing, right? Some people use constraint for purposes of pleasure. Just saying. The necessity of learning to deal, some of you got that. The necessity of learning to deal with severe constraint is the lesson of this ruin. It represents the obstacles we create for ourselves. Okay, I feel like we got this one in Mexico. So this is really important. So previous one was go within, right? Tend to like nurturing the self and preparing. Don't take any action yet. Then the next one was, right, tend to the soil and get ready for the growth. This one is be aware of the obstacles that you're putting in the way. Are you there looking at the soil and being like, nothing's happening? Nothing's happening. It's never going to happen, right? And start throwing like negative energy onto something, right? So if you're not where you want to be, are you getting stuck in those old patterns of like negative thinking, right? If you're in relationship aspects, so something maybe not going right, you're just like, oh my God, should I leave the whole relationship, right? Give some hearts if that's resonating. So you need to identify your shadow, your dark, repressed side. What were we talking about for Halloween? The shadow sides, the dark sides, the ghouls and the goblins that are coming out. That's what Devil's Night's truly about, right? It's your internal ghouls and goblins that have been wreaking havoc on you inside, keeping you from your absolute divine light and greatness. Okay, so identify your shadow, your dark, your repressed side. Places where growth has been stunted, resulting in weakness that is often projected onto others. Stop doing that. Or maybe you're with somebody and they're doing that to you, right? So you're in awareness of that. But on some level, if that's happening to you, then on some level, you're doing that within yourself, right? So where is that shadow conversation that you're having within yourself? Where are you projecting onto yourself? How often do we talk about that? We point the finger all the time about other people, like stop projecting onto me. And yet where is the conversation where we're reminding ourselves not to verbally vomit onto ourselves, not to project onto ourselves? That's the true name of the game. Happy Halloween, loves. I love you all. Thank you for always jumping on to Soul Circle. My name is Sarah Delane, your conscious lifestyles. We do ruins. We haven't done cards in a minute. I love always answering your guys' questions. If you ever have any other questions, please feel free to DM me. And I love you guys. So happy Halloween. Stay safe with all the ghouls and the goblins. You guys know, right? Sessions are available on the website. If you guys are wanting to get to that deeper layer, I'm doing a 6-session package that's for privates. And I am going to be doing, creating a group coaching. So I've kind of created it. And if you guys are interested in that, send me a DM and you'll hear more on my messages about that. But it's kind of like a Soul Circle, but with when we go into questions, but it's like deeper laser coaching on exactly how this stuff can apply to each individual on a much deeper level. So I love all you guys. Mwah. Happy Halloween. Bye, loves. Bye, YouTube.